All right, we're going to get started here. Again, welcome to webinar number 7 of the Disinfect and Protect webinar series. This is our final webinar, and again, I'd like to thank everyone over the past 7-8 weeks as we've presented on these. We've had multiple topics that we've covered, and multiple panelists come in and help support us, and more importantly, you, the clients. In wrapping up this series, I thought it was important for us, and this is something Heartline's had in the works for well over a year right now. And how do we communicate and really work with our clients more effectively, more efficiently? And I think now is a great time for us to be releasing the HL Beat, which is Heartline's asset management tool. And really, this is a communication tool. When it comes down to it, service, sales, installation, wellness, the overarching service that Heartline is providing here in the amenity space for fitness and wellness, communication is key, right? That's key in a lot of businesses. And Heartline holds a lot of information in our CRM system to actually execute on a lot of the functions that we provide up and down the East Coast and an operation in Chicago. And, I think it's very valuable for our clients to be able to see that right in their hand and how to communicate with us best and get that information when you want it. So we are launching what we are calling the HL Beat. It is on app and Android. And before I get too far ahead of myself, I will tell you that we are onboarding June 15th. So you will see this app online if you search for it during the presentation or afterwards. We have a couple little updates and some tweaks that we're still doing. So don't download it yet. Wait till we onboard you, and you'll get the latest and greatest version, and we'll run through how onboarding is going to work here in this presentation. But, in a nutshell, this is a very valuable communication tool that we've spent a lot of time researching and what was important to our clients, and really to make it an efficient way to do business with us, right? So scheduling, pending quotes, invoices, the health of your assets, understanding activity and return on investment, and the history. How many times have you serviced something? What have you spent on a particular asset? So all these things are questions that we've gotten over the years, and we've extracted that information out for our clients. And in this tool, we're putting that right in your hands and creating something that gives you the data when you need it. So again, communication and convenience are really what we're trying to achieve here, and what I know we have achieved with our clients where we've tested this already. So we understand loyalty comes from ease of doing business with Heartline Fitness, and elevating that client experience is a part of our brand promise and our vision, and that's what this tool is continuing to do. So I talked about this really quick, but to get started, okay, this is the Get Started webinar, and we're launching it on June 15th. If you are interested in this, and I'll provide this information at the end of this webinar, we want you to email us at beat, B-E-A-T, at heartlinefitness.com. This email address specifically goes to the person that is handling our onboarding. And again, there is an onboarding process to this. We have to set you up to log into it, make sure that not just anybody can log into your information. So we want to make sure we've got the right email address in the system so that you can control this information in this tool. We need to make sure that your assets are in here properly. Now, if you've purchased something from Heartline in the past, there's a very good probability we've already put that in there and things are being managed properly, and our techs have been logging this information in as well. So we do want to make sure that we have it all in there or get it in there before we turn this tool over to you, so that it works properly, right? And again, there's training videos that are a part of this, and then there's also support mechanisms that we are training and putting into place. So if you have some technical difficulties or you have some questions, there's a go-to person for you to help you, unstick or understand whatever may be your concern. So, you know, I think one of the really nice things that we were able to achieve with this app. This is a great picture here of New York City, and just, we have thousands of properties that we deal with in New York City specifically. We are up and down the East Coast, and in Chicago with the territory that we cover, but we have thousands of clients that have multiple properties that they are managing, right? We wanted to make sure that our app was able to kind of shift over to different properties or companies within, a client's portfolio. And we've done just that. So within this app, if you wanted to switch from your property in New York to Florida to Chicago or California or wherever, we can build that all out in this system, and it's very easy at a click of a button to switch over to another property that has been onboarded and set up under your profile. Scheduling, okay? So communication, right? This is it. In the past, we've asked that you click the wrench, you call us. We have email addresses that we've received in information. Over the past couple years here, we've noticed there's information overload, and sometimes our clients are getting confused, and we really have 4 or 5 lanes that information can come in to actually schedule a service job or communicate with us. And it's great that we offer all that to our clients, but on our end, it's a lot to manage. So over the last year or so, we've started to narrow in what I like to call lanes of traffic coming in down to just a few ways, right? And it allows us to operate more efficiently and effectively versus messages getting crossed and lost and things like that. So scheduling with us now through the app is even easier, where you wouldn't have to call us unless you really wanted to, or email us unless you really wanted to. You will be able to go right to the asset in the app, tell us what's going on with it, right? And it comes right into our system, okay? So scheduling really is simple, and I'm gonna go through several screens here in this presentation, but you'll see a similar format. At the very bottom of this first phone screen, you can see where we have a navigation of 4 different items: jobs, service, assets, and account. This very first picture here is set on assets. And when you're in this screen, once you're set up, you'll be able to scroll through and see all of your assets, okay? So to schedule a job with us, you will go to unit number 1, 2, 3, whatever your units are labeled up. And again, this is a part of our onboarding process, is we want you to identify treadmill number 1, elliptical number 2, or 6 or 7, or wherever it may be. There's key information that we store, or you may have been providing in the past with make, model, serial number. We don't want you getting on the ground, flipping equipment over, figuring all this stuff out. I want you to be able to walk into that room, look at unit number 1, pull it up in your phone, tell me it's making a squeak or it doesn't work, right? And submit that to us. And that's really what we're demonstrating in these 3 slides right here of the app, is find the asset. You're able to put in 1 service request or multiple service requests based on how many assets may have an issue in your facility, and then you submit the request. It's that simple. You can do it right on your phone while you're in the facility, while maybe you cross paths with Mrs. Jones, who said, hey, I had a trouble with elliptical number 2 today. You pull it right up on your phone, you type it in, we get it, it starts the process of getting a call for a service tech to come out. So very easy, very user-friendly, and right in the palm of your hands. Job details, okay? A lot of times we're getting questions on when are they coming out? Is the job confirmed? When's my next PM? When's the last time they were out for a PM, or what did we fix on that 1 treadmill? So, job details has been a little bit disguised, I'll say, from our clients, unless you're saving it in a folder and printing out paper and searching through emails and stuff like that. You've had to dig, right? It hasn't been easy, or you've called us and we've kind of had to dig all this information out for you. What the HL Beat is doing for us now is putting that right in front of you. So again, the bottom navigation here in this first illustration, we're on the jobs section, okay? And we've got several different things. Kind of think of the jobs section as our home page, right? We've got upcoming jobs, we have previous jobs, we've got pending quotes, we've got unpaid invoices, we've got this little green question mark at the top that we'll talk about soon. But really, there's a lot of information right here when we're on the jobs page. You will see new jobs that are in the process of being accepted or confirmed. You'll see jobs that maybe a tech is traveling to your location, or he's actually there in the building and has started the job. So, you know, a scrolling list of what's going on with these jobs. And I'll say this too, there's 3 in this first illustration. That may not be typical depending on the type of facility. You may only have 1 up here at a time. Or you may have a service call and a PM that's up and coming and you see 2 of them. So you could see 3 in this. That may not be typical, but it may be. From there, the second illustration here is job details. So you can tap on these jobs specifically and go into the details that the tech actually sees to the work that he's actually going to perform on the unit from what you submitted in your request, right? So we have the type of service that we're doing. We have the status, right? So in progress, I'm traveling. We have a description. And in this case, we've just got some test comments in here, but you may see description, hey, I need a pedal strap, or the pedal fell off, or the belt's tracking funny, treadmill doesn't work, it's cutting out. We will see that initial information through the app. And it's right here. Basically, it's right here. You're seeing what we're seeing and what you've communicated to us. From there, as we complete this job out, and this one's basically showing as completed, all the text, and you've seen this already if you've been working with us, we're telling you the work that was completed, and we're also providing recommendations of new work. So it could be, this was the diagnostic call. We diagnosed it. We found this. Here's what we recommend you do in the future, okay? So again, the details, the information, it's right here. It's very accessible. And whether it's a job that's up and coming, right? And if you look in the first illustration here, we can switch over to previous jobs kind of at the top there. You can look at all the previous jobs that were done and go into this type of detail. And the third illustration here to the far right, you're able at the very bottom here to click View Full PDF. Tap that. That's the same documentation that we've been sending to you that says, here's what we did. Here's what we recommend. If we've taken pictures of a broken cable or something that's going on with a belt or a pedal, you'll have those pictures in our work order completion form. So right here on the phone, if you want to share it with yourself, reprint it out, send it to your printer, text it to somebody, you're on a phone, right? This is an app. We've got a lot of creative little capabilities that our phone spins up with what we want to do with it next. So again, all right here, job details. And again, really, this is kind of the home screen, really, when we're looking at the jobs navigation tab. And there's a lot of information here. And we're going to go in a couple different areas of this page. But this is where most people will spend most of their time, kind of knowing what's coming down the pike with jobs that we're doing, or what's happened in the past, what open invoices are there, or hey, I've got to approve a quote because he was here yesterday. I finally got the approval. We're able to go right in here and approve it right on the phone. Asset health. So I'm going to focus on assets a little bit again, because these are some of the finer details outside of communication where we're providing data. And again, think about, you've got multiple properties, maybe hundreds of assets that could be in fitness facilities, and you're spending money to procure this. You're spending money to service it. It just does, you don't buy a brand new car and never change the oil. You have to maintain it. There's parts and things that have to be replaced to keep it safe and in good working order. So we're providing a tool that allows you to manage the assets in a specific fitness facility, and again, across a portfolio of facilities to really make sure you're keeping people safe, you're operating at an optimal level, right? And as you need to rotate things around, right, or switch things out, there's lots of factors that come into, you know, the return on the investment. Okay, it's not set it and forget it in a fitness center, as we know. So one of the things on this slide that we've built into this is very easily scrolling through all of your assets. You can have 10, you can have 20, you can have 100. We've got a little icon in the top right-hand corner of every one of the assets that has the ability to turn green, yellow, and red. And what we've done is we've built some algorithms in here and some control points of, you know, when is your warranty expiring? How much did that unit cost and how much have you spent so far on service parts on it? Some of these things, none of our clients are managing, and they frankly may not even understand or have time or want to do that. We're able to visually indicate to you, maybe it's yellow, maybe it's red. These are indicators that it may need attention. And another thing that's on the horizon for us is connecting into the equipment. And I'm not going to discuss too much of that in this presentation, but we have the capability to tie into the fitness equipment and actually understand the error codes, right? Tie that into the health of the units and the assets that you're viewing. And in this case, our little talk track would be, we've always kind of done, you know, a break fix type mentality. It's broke, call service, we come out, we fix it, right? We're all pretty much in the habit of doing preventative maintenance on the equipment, where we're cleaning it, we're lubricating it, we're calibrating it. We want it to run and maximize the life of that equipment. When we start to connect into the equipment, this is where we take those first two stages, break fix, preventative maintenance, and now we're going to predictable, right? We can predict when something's going wrong. So if I can see a change in usage, and you haven't met Mrs. Jones in the hallway and she said treadmill number 2 down, I can see it. If I get an error code or some other things that we can monitor on this equipment, we have the ability to do this in the fitness environment on these assets, so that maybe you don't have to use the app as much or call us or email us. We're taking care of it, whether it's inside your warranty period or even outside of that warranty period, so that having a fitness center is less of a burden. It runs very efficiently. It runs very safely, right? And as you know, in the return on your investment, it's just not the CapEx or the operating X, right? It's the perceived value to your residents, right? Or your tenants, right? This is the number one thing in the amenity space right now. It needs to work. It needs to look great. It needs to bring value to your property. So we're going about managing your assets very differently than we have in the past. And again, we're putting it right in the palm of your hands. Asset history. So I've touched on some of this. Being able to provide our clients, you know, a quarterly report card. You know, what's going on with your assets via the phone, or via, here's a document that automatically comes to you after we've completed your last PM, right? This is valuable information for you to budget. This is valuable information for you to bring to your boards and understand what's going on in this fitness center. We deal with clients that are spending, you know, a $10,000 fitness center to a $500,000 fitness center, okay? And this is real money, and we have to pay attention to it. Usage, touched on this again. You know, we can do this manually as we're doing a preventative maintenance. We're going to be updating the mileage as we're cleaning and calibrating. If you are connected in and you've gotten involved in that type of service with us, you will have real-time data through the app, but also through this connected service too, which, you know, helps you understand what's the next piece you need to buy. If you have 4 treadmills, but the capacity is really 3 based off of usage, or maybe it needs to be 5, you can interpret that from usage data, right? you've got a great view or a TV in front of this one treadmill. That one's getting used more than the other two or three. You want to rotate them around, although that one in front of the TV, you're going to have more issues sooner with that. Spread it out. So understanding usage, whether you're connected in through an automation or you're manually doing it, you want to understand equipment rotation. You want to understand how to make good purchasing decisions, right? And again, connected, how do we provide predictive service and get to there before you even knew there was an issue coming? Managing cardio and strength. So, it may come to mind, and I usually will talk more about cardio sometimes than strength in these presentations, but this can actually go on equipment, whether it's connected or it's manually, cardio and strength. And it can go on things outside of the fitness center too, or inside the fitness center that kind of have to do with fitness and wellness. So again, cardio and strength, we can monitor real time, and we can also monitor manually with the asset kind of history and profiling that we have in the app. So other assets that we find that the HL Beat has the ability to track, right? So we sell AEDs, right? And if you didn't know, I think it's National AED Week this week. So your AEDs need to be serviced. There's batteries that expire. There's pads that expire here, okay? What better way to track that than put it in as an asset in the HL Beat, and we're gonna know when you need to replace the battery. We're gonna know when you need to replace those pads, okay? Putting these types of assets into the system are great ideas, right? Air purification, we're working with Atmos Air, and this kind of goes into the pandemic that we have right now, but this is our attack on the air in this space. There's maintenance, there's warranty calls, there's replacing some of the product in there over time to make sure it runs optimally and purifies and cleans the air. Virtual studio equipment, gym accessories, I mean, anything you can think of, we can throw in here. There's medical applications, rehab type scenarios in here where the hospitals and rehab centers that we work with, you really need to log what we've been doing in there for liability and insurance reasons. So again, don't just think cardio or strength. There's other things that we can combine in here to really make this a comprehensive tool in managing the assets on your property, not just in the fitness center. So let's get back into the app a little bit. So one of the other capabilities that you saw on the Jobs tab, and it's also in your account tab too, but we're going to send you a quote. Your technician is providing you a quote right there in the field, and sometimes we may need to tweak a couple things and it comes within the next 24 hours. But for the most part, if we've done a diagnostic job or a PM or a service job, you're immediately getting a quote. Now in the app, you're going to be prompted. Here's that quote, and you can approve it or you can reject it, and you may have some questions, okay? But we're giving you the ability, rather than printing it out, signing it, things like that, it's your user profile. We know who's approving this. We know who's using this, unless you give out your profile to somebody else, right? But your approval here on the app is good enough for us, and then we will start the process, and it starts to speed up that process of a repair, right? Maybe we have the parts right there in stock and we can complete it while we're there. Or maybe we got the approval faster, right? The parts come in faster. You have some questions that get answered a little bit faster. Putting this capability right on the app was key for us to speed up that repair job, right? And the approval process and getting the parts in and finally getting out there to take that out of order sign off on and get you going again. So approving quotes is here. And then also invoices. You know, a lot of times billing information may change, goes into a junk box, something like that. You can look at your open invoices here, download them, sign off on them, pay them, whatever you need to do. But it's right here in the touch of your hand. So approving quotes, looking at your open invoices, information that we've kind of in the past had in our system, and maybe it was a phone call or an email and a manual process to provide that to you. It's right here in the app. and it's at your fingertips. So another feature, I talked about the little green button at the top with the question mark in it. What does that do? That's the contact us, right? And you know, every customer profile in our system has an assigned technician that is typically the regular technician that comes out, but we also have an assigned sales rep. So let's talk about, you need to contact somebody for sales because a service tech just sent you a quote for maybe a little bit more than you wanted to spend on that bike, and it's old, and you kind of, let's get a quote on it. Maybe I need to replace it, right? Well, if you didn't ask your tech to, you know, have sales contact you or some other method, you can go right to the app and you have some choices, right? You can call us, and the next prompt you'll get, well, do you want to call sales or do you want to call service? Or you can email us in the same type of scenario. Do you want to email sales or do you want to email service? So within that kind of accessing, you know, who you want to, you know, work with, it's right here on the phone. It's going to dial that sales rep's direct phone number that's in our system. It's going to email our service support team, or you're going to call our service support team directly. You don't go to our business card. You don't go to our website. You don't figure out where the phone numbers are and who do I call. You go right here, right? Here's how to get a hold of us. So we understand there's tons of value in email still, and obviously talking us to get information, but let's put it in your hands and make it easy to get to us. The other feature here too, and this comes up every year with every single client that we have, right? We need an updated certificate of insurance. So you email us, you call us, you can go right to the app, you tap this button, you type in what it needs to say on your COI or any other information that's in here. This comes right into a service support person for us and is CC'd to our insurance broker so that we can expedite that process of getting you that COI and clear that out. This is one of those processes that sometimes it takes a little bit more effort to get it done. And there's a little bit, some other particulars sometimes in COIs that need to be discussed or covered off. But we've tried to, how do we make that process easier and get more people in the loop faster to get you what you need, right? And Heartline, if you didn't know, we have $10 million of completed insurance. You're not going to find that with a whole lot of other service providers out there. It's a huge asset for our clients to have a company with that type of coverage and completed coverage coming out and maintaining your facility, providing equipment. It's that layer, and you know, I can't speak to it's going to help anybody with COVID right now, but we've seen a lot of interesting things that happen in the fitness center, and partnering with somebody that has that type of coverage absolutely is a benefit to you and our clients. Your account. So we're getting to the end here. The last tab is the account profile. And again, we wanted to open up some things here that you can control. Now, we haven't opened it up to you editing your profile as far as your information. Because again, if somebody got a hold of your information and they start changing things, we want to make this secure, right? But you can edit your billing information, basically email and some other things if that does change or you want it to go somewhere else. And then again, we've got some log out buttons here, and then changing your company or your facility. So once you hit that change company button, it basically prompts you, okay, which one do you want to go to? Property A, B, C, or the names of it will all be right there. And we work through, you know, with you during the onboarding process to make sure we have that all labeled out properly and working for you as effectively as possible. So again, you've got some control over your information and switching through your different properties through the account navigation tab here. All right, so there's a few other things I haven't, you know, gone into as much detail here. Again, we will have training videos that support how to use this. We also will have live support that you can call into with our support team to get people onboarded and help as we start to do this. The app is live in the App Store right now. So if you have looked at it and you're trying things and all that, remember the first slide I said, hey, it's there, don't use it just yet. We have an update that is pushing out, and we are going to start the onboarding process June 15th. I'm asking those of you that are on the webinar now, please contact us at beat@heartlinefitness.com. We will get you in the queue. We want to make sure we've got, proper credentials for you to log in. And we also want to make sure we have your assets in the system. We've got stickers and asset number 1, 2, 3 labeled in the facilities. There's a few things to do to really make this convenient and effective tool for you. And really, at the end of the day, as I said, our vision, our brand promise is how do we increase the performance of these facilities for our clients, but also, elevate that client experience. So I thank all of you for listening here. We're going to move to Q&A. We will have some additional webinars on this, but I wanted to release this at the end of our Disinfect and Protect webinar series. I think this is an absolute game changer for us in the amenity space, in the fitness space. There's other assets that we can bring in here. And typically, you're not seeing this type of technology or capability unless it's specific with a manufacturer and a brand. And this is not brand specific. We can do this with any type of asset, be it fitness, AED, medical, wellness, Pilates. You want to know when it's coming in, what you've spent on it. It's game changer. I'll leave it at that. So let's go to Q&A here. Extra slide here. We will have a browser capability here at some point. All right, well, I am having some technical difficulty here. I apologize. Zoom is not letting me pull up Q&A. There we go. Now we have it. Probably have a little bit of a messy screen, so I apologize. Let's go to the first question. How will our existing equipment be registered as an asset? Additionally, if we have new equipment installed by Heartline, will be pre-registration to our account? Great question. So we've got kind of 3 different avenues that our clients are coming into using the app that we're forecasting, right? So one would be you have a preventative maintenance contract with us. And again, I really forgot to mention, this initial version of the app, not where we're connecting in and monitoring error codes and things like that. This is free. This is free for our PM clients. It's free for the people that are buying from us. It's your information. We're providing this free. It's a great communication tool for all of us. So there's no fee to get in to use this. It helps all of us. So, but back to the question. If you're buying, say, a fitness center, like behind us, 12 pieces of cardio, 12 pieces of strength, getting you onto the app is a part of the onboarding process, right? In order for us to deliver your equipment, we need a site survey filled out. The very first thing that happens when you log in to the HL Beat is we're going to ask you some questions, right? And you can skip it, but it's going to keep coming back. But we want to know, do we have steps to go up? How many doorways? Are there elevators? Things like that. We want to know the facility that we're getting into to deliver this equipment, all right? During the pre-build and the testing, before you even see, all the equipment shows up and it's Christmas with a bow on it, we've pre-built it. We've put your assets in the system, right? It's all going to be there for those properties that we're selling new packages to. And for a lot of you in the last year or so, again, we've been building this app for a while. We've been putting all those assets in there. But just in case something was missed or there's another step to kind of do, we want to run through that onboarding process, make sure the tool is set up properly so that it works properly for everybody. But if you're buying equipment from us, we're putting it in already before you even see your equipment. If you're working with us on PM or disinfect and protect, we're going to want to inspect and then sometimes, bring that all in there so that our techs can update it, or maybe the next PM that our technician does, we'll get all that information updated and in the system for you there too. So great question. Next question is, will you please email out the slide deck for today's call? Yes, not a problem. What we've typically been doing, if you go to Insights on our website, this is being recorded, and we put another little tab down there for you to download these pages from the PowerPoint. Next question, Jeff, will you be able to compare my quarterly, annually operating expenses and other fitness center metrics against properties I'm guessing in my portfolio or using this technology? So yes, you can basically compare what you've used or what you've spent on each asset. So in that asset tab, you've got the ability to look at the previous jobs that were done, right? And once you go to a previous job, you get all those details that we talked about. And then you also have that job printout that we can, send to each other or print or email, whatever you want. So each asset, as we're doing jobs, we're logging, hey, this part was for treadmill number 1. This was for elliptical number 2. All that goes into a job history, kind of scrolling menu underneath each asset, and you'll be able to pick it out and see what you've been doing and what you've been spending on those assets. Will we combine all that into like a quarterly report? Yes, there will be an analysis. We've still got some building to do on that, but our intent is to be able to provide, if you've got a quarterly PM with us, or maybe it's semi-annual or whatever, we want to be able to provide you the information with, here's the health of your facility, here's the assessment of what's going on, keeping you in the know rather than you asking us, we're providing it to you. Another question here, is there a way through the app to determine if a particular product is available for use? Great question. That is another future item that we're working on. We have the ability to obviously see usage and track usage right now. If and when we build this part of the app out, and it will probably be something internal to the HL Beat, and then an app for the end user. So these are the people that are using your fitness center. They could download a similar app that says, oh, we've got 5 treadmills, 3 of them are being used right now. I'm going to go down now and get my 30 minutes of cardio, right? Because there's 2 of them that may be available. So, depending on what you opt in to do, right? The free version is probably, not going to do this type of feature, but there will be a subscription-based version of the HLB, and then probably an add-on app for the end users to actually know, hey, this unit's a level. Let me go to the clubhouse. Let me go down 30 flights and go get on that treadmill, rather than you just showed up and now you're waiting, right? You could start to look at usage and when the hot points are, or when something is available, and go get your workout in. Next question, am I able to pay an invoice through the app? You're not able to pay it through the app, but we are eventually providing a link that goes right into another service that we have that you can pay your invoices directly through a portal, which is TermSync. So providing a link in there is another item that is in the future, but you will be able to tap on that link. It will redirect you. You'll run through our TermSync provider, which is a secure website, to provide that type of transactional piece. So again, yes, that is coming as well. Is the app available both on Apple and Android? Yes, it is. So when we onboard and launch, we will provide both of those locations links so that you can download it. And then last question is, Jeff, is there a way to capture our pool assets into this app? Yeah, like, you know, we had in the slide, let's see which one it was. There's multiple assets that, you know, you can put in here. So if you had an AED at the pool, right? Most pools have AEDs. We could track that one. We could inspect that one. We could service that one for you. If you have other types of assets, I don't know, chairs, pool noodles, I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there, but yes, we can create assets in here. And as our technicians come in and check things out, our techs actually work on a mobile app as well to put in notes and handle things. So any of the assets that you think are pertinent, it's very easy for us to incorporate those in here. So I think that wraps up all the questions. Again, I'd like to thank everyone from our participants to our panelists over the last 7-8 weeks that have been involved in these webinars. Reopening, disinfect and protect. We have AEDs, we've had Atmos Air, we've had 3 Sages with our wellness app. I think this has been a ton of valuable information that our clients have been in need of right now going through the pandemic. So we are here to help. We're here to do more. Reach out if you're interested in the HL Beat and being onboarded. Again, it's Beat at Heartline Fitness. If you just need help with something else, help at Heartline Fitness. We're here to help. And thank you all. Be well.